Hey everybody from KPMG. Welcome to this yoga class, part of Advisory University. I'm Joe. Today we're going to do a yoga practice and we're actually going to warm up into a downward facing dog pose. Now if you've taken yoga before, if you haven't taken yoga ever, that's okay. This is going to be an all levels practice. And we're going to sort of sequence up into a downward facing dog. It's a really common pose that we do in yoga, and it requires a lot of flexibility and hamstrings and a lot of chest and shoulders. It's a lot of full body warming up to get into this pose. So we'll do a few poses to get up there and then continue a nice flow yoga practice. So let's start on the ground. You can come to the floor and we'll go ahead and start in a hands and knees position and go to a child's pose. Let's bring your toes together, open your knees out as wide as you like here. Stretch out your arms to the top of your mat. Let's take a few breaths and try to put your forehead, if you can, down towards the floor with your arms nice and extended here. Notice here, I'm just trying to get a nice reach in those arms, and even if you can, spread out your fingers nice and wide, so also you're making space between the fingertips, stretching out your wrists. And here's where we begin our practice with some nice deep yogic breaths. Let's take a couple fully in and letting go. Nice full breaths, fully in and letting go. Two more. Fully inhale and let it go. And every inhale, let's see if we can stretch out those arms fully in and letting go. Good. You can come up a little bit. Try to push your hips back as far towards your heels as you can. Don't worry if your hips don't sit back as far today. That's okay. And then on a nice inhalation, we're going to come up and do a tabletop position. So we're going to begin warming the spine up and moving it through a few rounds of cat and cow. So here I want you to round the back and arch your spine into cat. And I want you to inhale and lift your heart center. Relax your belly, your stomach, and try to lift your head all the way up. And then round the back and exhale. We're going to do that about a dozen more times or so. So let's keep that spine moving. We do a lot on the spine in yoga practice. In down dog position, we're actually lengthening out the spine. In a lot of yoga poses, we're lengthening out the spine. So we're just beginning warming that spinal column up. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way to cat arch. Inhale on the way up and see if you can lift up your chest, your chin, and exhale. Tuck your chin down, round your back. So try to get that exaggerated cat arch. If you can here, inhale, and then push the mat away so that you can round the back. Let's do one more really good one in here. Inhale. And then exhale, round the back into cat pose. Good. Take it easy, sit back here for a moment. We're going to do a puppy's pose position, which is sort of like our down dog. But we're going to bring those hands up to the top corners of our mat. I like to slide those knees back because I don't want to push my hips back to the heels. I want to kind of stick my hips up in the air. And then let's push your armpits down. So I'm looking forward, so I'm creating a little bit of a back bend here. And I'm pushing my armpits down, so I'm getting that stretch on the inside of my shoulders. Try to get into the pose and breathe into it. This can feel really nice to stretch out the upper body Try to make those arms and hands nice and active. Breathe, and we'll take a couple more breaths in puppy's pose. Breathe in and breathe out. Get a nice stretch in the chest. Push down those arms, everybody. Breathe in and hold. And breathe out. One more. Breathe in and hold. And breathe out. Okay, let's come up off the floor. We're going to go down on your elbows and lower your whole body flat on the mat into a Sphinx position. So we're pushing down your toes, we're pressing down that lower part of your back. We're lifting up the chest and the upper part of your back here for a few breaths. Notice our warm-up today is moving pretty slowly, holding some of these poses. And that's where we get the benefit of yoga, is when we hold these poses for about 5 or 7 breaths. Later on we'll do more of a flow practice, and that's when down dog is used a lot in yoga, when we do our yoga flow. But we're sequencing out, we're kind of thinking about our body anatomically to get into down dog, get everything warmed up and opened and stretched. Let's hold that Sphinx pose and actively push down into that lower part of your back. Lift that upper part of your back and chest up off the floor. I'm going to breathe here and we'll go about 2-3 more breaths. Fully in. Letting go. Fully in. Letting go. Good. So if you want to start putting those hands back where your elbows were, keep your elbows in, peel yourself off the floor into a Cobra Pose. Try to relax your shoulders, lift up the heart and chest, and we'll go right back to Child's Pose. Maybe even if you like here, take another Puppy's Pose position as well. If you really enjoyed that pose, we'll start doing a little bit more of those hips up position. And coming on up back into our tabletop pose. So I'd like you to inhale here and sweep your right arm up to the sky. Do a twist. Reach and look up as best you can. And thread your right arm and your shoulder down to the ground here. I want you to apply as much pressure into that shoulder as you can. Rest the side of your ear, your neck. And I'm going to take my top arm, I'm going to drop it around the lower part of my back. So that's one option to do here. It's called thread the needle pose. And we're stretching out a little more of the outside of the shoulder. And then getting the neck and the head in this stretch, because that feels really nice as well. Let's relax. Take it easy. 2 more breaths, fully in, letting go. Let's do one more. And then we're going to get your left arm ready. Unthread your right arm out and sweep that right arm up. Try to look up again and twist. Exhale back to table. You can go back to Puppy's or Child's Pose. And then back up to tabletop pose so that we can do our next side. So leaving that right arm down, we're going to sweep the left arm up. Inhale. And then thread your left arm down to the right side and exhale. You can get your back arm, your top arm up when you're ready. Bring it around your lower back. Make sure to keep the breath going when you're in the yoga poses. So make sure you don't forget to breathe. And then get ready to unthread that left arm. Inhale and sweep that left arm up in the air. Breathe. And then we'll go back to tabletop position. Start to maybe move your hips side to side and loosen up the back. I throw in a couple of these cats and cows as well. And then we'll sit back. You can sit on your heels and try to tuck your toes under. This can be really, or a little bit uncomfortable. Try this out. This is such a good stretch to get into the toes and those arches of your feet. So we're going to do a little bit more before we take our first down dog position. Remember, we're warming up our body and we're going to start back again with the hips. So let's bring that right leg up towards the front of your mat. Modification, drop the hands. Try to slide the left leg back so that you're beginning to drop low into the hips and pelvis area. I like toes tucked under. You can do tucked under or tucked. And then we're starting to lift up the chest, deepening that hip position here. Let's go and breathe and try to keep your chest and everything lifted. When you're ready, sweep those arms and hands up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Good, one more breath here. Full expression, take your arms up, reach back, low crescent lunge. Drop the hands down to the floor, exhale. So keeping your hips neutral, keeping your hands on the mat in the position, we're going to start to shift your hips back and stretch deeply into right hamstring now. So I really enjoy this stretch because hamstrings need a little extra attention sometimes. So staying in this pose for a little bit might be a good idea. If you're feeling this pose, like you're feeling the stretch, that is great. Try to go into the breath work as you're stretching at that hamstring. Let's go and breathe. Fully in, letting go. And the breath is so important in yoga. We want to deeply breathe and not hold the breath when we're doing our exercise of yoga today. Okay. We're going to come back up to the front of your mat, low lunge, or you can tuck that back toe under, lift up the knee. We're going to sweep that right arm up into a lunge twist. Breathe out, step that right hand back down, step the right leg back. We're just going to go right to child's pose or puppy's pose again. And inhale back up, tabletop. And sit back on your toes again. We're almost there, getting into that first down dog. So stay with me for a little bit. Let's make sure we get that left side up. So plant your left foot up between the hands. Try to stretch that right leg back so that you're beginning to go a little bit deeper into our low body, our hips. But listen to your body and just go as much as you can. Do the best that you can. So this is one of the last things we're going to do here is doing that low lunge, sweeping the arms up, expressing that low lunge with those arms straight, and possibly reaching back to get a nice heart opener here. 5. Breathe in. 4. Breathe out. 3. Breathe in. 2. And breathe out. And then drop the hands down. We'll do that splits one more time. Start moving your hips back. Work into that front hamstring. For a lot of us, hamstrings usually are a little tight, and that is completely normal, and that's why I really enjoy this pose and get a lot out of it. So I hope y'all feel this as well, and might get a little relief as we're pulling those hips back and then just stretching your upper body forward. And then we'll come back up to the top of your mat. Breathe in, sweep that back leg up, sweep the left arm up and twist. Try to look up. And then exhale, release the hands. Bring your leg back. Last child's pose that we're going to be here. And then you guys will come up. And then we're going to get ready to take our first down dog. Hopefully you feel warmed up and opened everywhere. So let's go for it. And we're trying to make a nice upside down V actually in down dog. So legs can be a little bent here, but we want to stretch out those legs. And then here's our back and our arms. So we're making our hips the very highest point of our down dog. So let's get ready. Make sure, right, we get those hands down on the mat. Spread the fingers out. If you're kind of learning the down dog here, make some room and space. Walk those hands up a little bit, about 1 or a half handprint up your mat so that you're getting a little more of an angle with your arms. Get ready to tuck your toes under. We're going for it, everybody. We're going to lift up your knees and start lifting the hips up to the sky, making that upside down V. So your gaze should be back at your feet. So your head is literally upside down. If you feel the hamstrings stretching again, good. You can leave the knees kind of bent here. Draw up the belly, lift your hips, or maybe work on getting your heels down. Whatever is good here for you. Just make sure that you are actively pushing back to your feet and looking back where you're going. Downward facing dog. We did it, you guys. So good here. Stretch out your back, lift your hips, and then when you're ready, start to walk up towards the front of your mat. Breathe in, lift halfway up and flatten your back. Breathe out, forward fold. Breathe in, sweep the arms and hands up over your head. Exhale, reach back. Inhale, come up and lower your arms to your sides. Make sure your feet are about hip width distance. Breathe in, sweep the arms up, reach back. Breathe out, forward fold down. Breathe in, flat back position. Breathe out, forward fold position. Breathe in, sweep the arms up, stretch, reach back. Exhale, arms to your side. Let's do that half sun salutation once more. Breathe in, sweep the arms up, reach back. Breathe out, swan dive the arms down, forward fold. Breathe in, back length here. Breathe out, forward fold. And then breathe in, sweep the arms and hands up, reach back. Exhale, arms to your sides. Keep your feet where they are, bend your knees. Squat back into a chair position. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Step your feet back in a down dog position. Now we're going to do a little push-up here, or drop the knees, lower your low body down, lift your heart up into Cobra. If you need a modification of this, come all the way down, peel yourself up, exhale back to downward facing dog. Good. So down dog is a really good transition of coming from the floor on up into our feet. So we're just going to walk or hop the feet forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Reaching back. Exhale, arms to your sides. We're going to do that flow 2 more times. We're going to use down dog. Inhale on the way up. Exhale on the way down. Stepping back, coming into downward facing dog again. We're back in it, doing it a lot. Dropping down, lifting up the heart, breathing in, breathing out, back to down dog. Good flow, you guys. Nice movement today. It's a good, awesome thing to get movement in our yoga practice. It feels great. It gets our body feeling amazing, but gets things working, it gets things moving. We're going to come back up to the front of our mats. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward folds. We'll sweep those arms up again. Do it again. Exhale, reach back. Arms to your sides. Last one here. Take a nice big breath. Big stretch. Inhale. Exhale, arms to a forward fold. Step back again. One more. Downward facing dog. Big upside down V. And then dropping down the knees, lifting up your chest, Cobra. And then back up to downward facing dog. Beautiful, you guys. Oh man, we're going to walk those hands and feet together. We'll hang out in that forward fold, loosen up the neck, shake it out, one vertebrae at a time. We'll start to come back up. We'll do our standing position. We'll add in some balancing poses today. When you're ready, stand up on your right foot. Bring the left knee out. In your space that you are in right now, try to focus on one particular spot. Focus on your standing leg. Try to lock out the standing leg. Place your hands together towards your heart, or see if you can lift up the arms. One way to get better at balancing is just do more balancing poses. Hands back together towards the heart. And then leg down, shake out that ankle. We'll do our next tree. Stand up on left side. Bring the right knee out. You can modify this tree, maybe keeping the toes on the mat, maybe keeping your foot below the knee or above the knee. So you have all those options. We're just doing our practice here, doing our best. And tree pose, hands together to heart, or lift those arms up. Tree. Hands, arms down first. And then that leg and shake out that ankle. Good, everybody. If you can't come to a deep squat position, feet out, elbows on your thighs, or come all the way down. And this might take a little bit of practice and warming up to do, but this is a really great posture to do for the low back here. Practice this as often as you can. Practice cat and cow as often as you can, and then maybe practice deep squats as well. So hold this for a bit, push those hands together, lift your heart and chest. If you can't come all the way down, that's alright, don't worry about it. We're going to come down to the floor, but you can maybe pass through that forward fold. And then comfortable seated position. Good. Let's roll the shoulders back from the ears a few times. Move around your head, your neck into some circles. Whatever feels best and good here. Nice. And then let's bring the bottoms of your feet together, making a nice little square with your feet, your knees, and your hips. I slide my hips back a little bit so that gives me a little bit more space, and I get the flesh out from the hips. We're going to inhale on the way up and exhale, folding forward. Try to lead with your heart and chest as we're coming down to that forward fold. And inhale on the way back up. We're going to do a couple more poses on the floor. So right leg goes out, left leg comes in. Stretch the arms out. Exhale, fold forward. Little bonus stretch on the hamstrings. And inhale. When you're ready, coming back up, sweeping the arms back, doing a little back bend again. We'll do the opposite leg, so left leg out, right leg in. Sweep the arms up, exhale, reach forward and fold. So you might feel that stretch in the lower back and on this side right here. So we might feel that here, and then for sure, maybe the hamstrings. So breathe into those areas of your body that you just feel that stretch. And then coming back up, lifting your heart and chest. We'll do one more here, both legs stretch forward, shake out the legs. And you can reach the arms, reach, and then fold forward. Imagine here just taking your hips, sliding them back a few times, and bringing your heart, chest down. Breathing and coming back up, lifting your heart and chest. Good. You can cross your legs now. Come into just a seated position. We'll do a spinal twist and we'll twist to the right side first. Put your left hand on your right knee. Your right arm back and twist. And then we'll move to that other side. Left arm back and twist to your left. And coming back to your center, sweeping the arms up, bringing the hands down towards your heart center. Let's take a few moments here, maybe lay down on your back. And take those knees and hug them into your chest. This is such a great pose right here, and what I love to do is just massage that lower part of your back onto the mat. So that was our little practice today to sequence up into down dog, and I hope y'all learned something about getting into that down dog position, and I'll practice it. We're not just going to lift those legs and feet up here. If you want to maybe do some abdominal work exercise, you can bring right leg down, and then lift back up, and then left leg down, and lift it back up. Do as many with good form, with steadiness as you can. Sneaking in a little bit of abdominal work. You can go a little bit more, maybe both legs down and up. Breathe. 5, 4. Good. 3. You're almost there. 2. 1. Good. Bend your knees, plant your feet on the floor, about hip width, and take your bridge pose. Lift your back up. And once we get that next bridge, y'all, we can bring the hips down, stretch out your legs, take a little relaxation here. Stretch out your legs, rest your back, rest your shoulders. Try to rest your arms and your legs, and let your body just go limp here. Rest in all your muscles, your tendons, your ligaments. Letting everything just rest here for a moment. Relax. You can take a little bit extra time. Right now, if you would like a longer relaxation, you can pause this. You can maybe just go on with your relaxation a little bit longer. Know that you have a little extra time to relax your body, but most importantly, to relax your mind. And just when you're ready here, you You can maybe start moving your fingers and toes bit by bit. You're going to stretch those arms up over your head, feeling refreshed, feeling rejuvenated. We'll roll over out to the side. And come on up when you are ready to a nice comfortable seat. I appreciate y'all so much for joining us today for our yoga. I hope y'all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll see y'all soon.